Hello, folks. Welcome to the Hello World, podcasting with Magdalena. How is everybody doing? Listen, thanks for tuning in and welcome to my podcasting channel. As I've been mentioning in the last podcasting, that I'm actually traveling for 4 or 5 weeks and I may be without internet or access to computer. Um, well, this is what I'm experiencing. So this is actually right now. It will be a pre-recorded episode, and when I get to the computer, I will download it and put it in the things my archives, and so you can have access to it. For right now, I do even not have actually, the astrological constellations, nothing. So this is right now my personal observation and my experience, what I am experiencing right now through traveling. Very interesting. The only thing what I am aware of it is that right now we are actually dealing with a lot of Virgo energy. As I arrived here in Europe, I had a little, I have to say, kind of, a cultural shock in a sense, because the place where I'm right now, it's almost, the whole outside world experience stopped. People are very much occupied, with their own little lives, and look like you can even not feel the impact from the big world, what is really happening. So it's very, very interesting. I do quite a bit of walking, and just last week, as I was walking down into the city, I was really, observing the environment and what is really the way it's kind of presented to the people here. The whole things, Green Deal is very much presented. People are getting forced, more or less, to use less vehicles, walk more, bike more. And the very strange thing, what I was kind of contemplating with that, is that, wait a minute, here we are. People are getting put back in the 21st century from the technological point of view, yet the world is experiencing outside invasion of the 5G. So I was kind of talking with a couple of people, and I just look like, this two worlds are meeting, and a very strange feeling. Let's just say this at least. On some level, I'm questioning that, how can you function in the 21st century that you are consuming so much time to get to work, get something, and how do you blend this all without being so deeply impacted? Some people are, as I've been talking with them, some people are okay with that, some people are really crass. I actually spoke with somebody, and she was telling me the story that, a lot of youth decided they are even not making a driver license. Wherever they wanted to go, or they can walk, or they can bike. So I don't know. I'm just kind of sharing this with you, but to me, I'm finding a little strange that I'm sure, in a different parts of the world, people are experiencing different stuff, but I'm finding there's a huge imbalance. That's where I'm right now actually going with this. And as I'm kind of experiencing right now the Virgo energy, I'm also recognizing, what we can do here. How can we actually double check, and try to figure out, how is our life getting impacted? Because, most of the time, Virgo represent actually the harvesting energy, and we can say whatever we, saw. This is right now what we are experiencing. So, what I actually asked a couple of questions, and one of the questions was, how can we correct, or is it possible for us actually to correct our path that we are on? Because interestingly enough, I lended a book from a friend of mine in German, from Penny McLean, and the German title is Wenn der kosmische Schiedsrichter kommt. In English would be When the Cosmic Judge kommt. And this whole thing, I mean, I've been reading a lot about, this kind of spiritual stuff here, how we can understand life on the much deeper level, consciously more. Because if you just look at life on the physical level, we cannot find many solutions because there are so many other aspects they are playing their role here, folks. And as I am saying here, I started to ask some questions here. One of them was that can we correct our path? Why do we have so many changes? Where does personal and collective responsibility starts? Karma, which is actually about action and reactions, and energetic bank account. I mean, I've been talking about the karma and energetic bank account for a while ago, but I thought it's very interesting since our financial system is is on the brink of collapse. So actually is collapsing, yet there is this camouflage to keep going on, keeping this false pretense, and people are just living something that even doesn't exist. Then the consumerism is really more better. And then the next one was that we have what we are right now experiencing is in our times has actually huge consequences or karmic consequences. I'm not quite sure. Do people actually realize that aspect? That assuming that we can do whatever we wanted to do, people can bully such a huge amount of collective here and be without consequences. It boggles my mind, folks. And then we have a personal karma and collective and also world karma. I personally connect actually karma with Saturn. And as I said, we are right now in the harvesting time. Why was I kind of contemplating with the idea with the karma, and which is action and reaction to it? It was through this book what I was reading when the kosmische Gerichtsvollzieher kommt, when the kosmische judge come to arrived, is that a lot of the people are suffering in the world, and a lot of them are actually leaving this planet. I can tell you, so many people are right now just kind of going, and you really have to ask yourself the question: is there something that people are actually just kind of tired of it and saying, I'm done with this, or are they actually done with their own karma? Because if we go to the deeper level and ask ourselves, just to take out and leave this plane will not solve many problems. the problems will continue either on the other side or when we come back. So that is something that we would need to dip into the bigger picture. And another thing is that when you talk with a lot of people and try to share with them this traumatic and deep problems that we are facing right now in the world, the most response what I'm getting here is that, in general, doesn't matter who I'm actually sharing this experience, is that they say, well, there's nothing anyway that I can do about. And I would say that's incorrect because if anybody did quite a personal journey and starting to work out their own personal imbalances and start to correct the behavior pattern, I would say that's the first step where we can actually correct what's really going on, folks. Okay. Even though it is very painful, because some of the experiences are maybe really, old or even from past life, and we can actually even not remember what is it that happened that we are actually facing right now. So, and then, we are kind of complaining and bitching. Oh my God, why this injustice and why all this pain that we are dealing with it, not recognizing that's actually us who has to work this out. I know a lot of people are not willing to hear the idea that we are the one who is responsible for everything. It's much easier for us, to blame the elite or anybody else because of these challenges that we are facing. That could not have happened if we would stand up and challenge the status quo and say no. And yes, I can understand that right now we are so far that is the further we go into these experiences, into these places, energetic waves, the harder it gets. But look, like I said, sooner or later we have to deal with it. And to me, as I wrote down right now, the karma, what we are dealing with it is very much connected to Saturn, and being right now in the Capricorn, it's heavy duty, folks. Meaning that we are the one who have to, stand up in the authority and start with our own personal lives. I always say, if every one of us would, stand in our lives for the truth and be willing to challenge that and work on the correction, pretty soon we could kind of turn around this wave and the abuse, what we may experience on the much, 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 much deeper level. So, well, this is something that I decided, kind of cut into parts and kind of bring thoughts to contemplate, because like I said right now, to me this is a very significant time of contemplation, because a Virgo is also harvesting time, sorting out what we want, what we don't want, what is a good seed, what is a good harvest, and something that is actually not beneficial for us, folks. We will have to work with that and say no to that. Look, like I said, let me just go one more time. Yeah, interesting. And also today is 9/9/2019. I was looking this from the astrological, from the numerological point. 9 is always a completion. And I have the sensation that, completion in the male, female, 20